Hi, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to today's session. Now, we've had quite a few questions about system integration when it comes to robotics and AI incident management in the healthcare industry. And that's why we've put together this little video to give a little chat about what system integration is and why it's so important for the healthcare industry. So firstly, the issue that we're talking about here is the issue of a reducing amount of input that is available for an increasing demand of output. And when I mean input, what I'm referring to is the workforce, the size of the workforce, and the output that I'm referring to is well-being health outcomes of patients and residents. With increasing demands just based on people wanting higher levels of healthcare, as well as society moving in that direction, this becomes more important. The two groups of people that robotics and AI incident management technologies assist are always going to be the workforce and the residents and patients that are in any facility. Now, when it comes to robots, there are different types of robots, and I'll go into this in another session in the future. But this is basically, we've grouped it into 5 different types of robot functions that are being executed. Each of these could be done by individual robots, or there might be overlaps between some of the two of them. But this is where integration comes in, because when you have many different robots performing different functions, you need these robots to be speaking and communicating with each other, as well as communicating with other non-robot devices. So it could be a robot talking to a lift, could be a robot talking to your fire alarm system, your robot could be talking to your door access control system. And you could have a cleaning robot as well as a delivery robot moving trolleys of food. So that is where integration comes into it. If I keep going along this, the other part that's important in integration is you've got your robots, all different types of robots, as you can see on the screen here, but they're interacting with the environment that they are in, the physical space that was probably not built with robots in mind, but now robots are using that space, and the people. Now, people in any workforce, be it residents, family members of residents or clients, staff, visitors, contractors, whoever it is coming in, may or may not be familiar with interacting and working with robots. So it's important that the integrations that are done allow for this robot to human interaction and robot to environment interaction to occur smoothly. And a system integrator will be able to put these together so that there are no additional reactive tasks that people need to do. And you wouldn't need to create as big changes in your environment where possible, of course, to accommodate these robots. So that's what, or that is a large part of what system integration is about. If I continue on now to incident management, and this talks about video analytics, sound analytics, radar devices that are picking up falls, loitering, maybe even aggression to an extent. Again, these devices in isolation can identify incidents and can create a triggered reaction or an alert for that. But what you need is an integrated workflow process where that trigger isn't coming from multiple separate devices. So if you look at the pictures here, you've got a fall detection radar device in a bathroom, you've got an individual's duress button, and you've got lamps with video analytics technology that can pick up on falls and bed presence. Now, you don't want staff members having to react to all these 3 different devices. What you want is a single point of information for staff members or for residents. And that single point of information receives all this data from these different points and allows for an individual then to make a decision based on information coming from a single point. That is integration of those different devices feeding into this. This could be in the form of a nurse call system, or more and more now there are smart messaging softwares that are able to do this interaction. Now, that is the 2 parts why I spoke about AI, incident management systems, and robotics. All of them have similar important considerations. So I just run through them quickly here. You've got to have very clear operational objectives. It's got to always take into account the staff well-being. You don't want any alarm fatigue. You don't want issues with very steep learning curves for new technologies. You don't want safety to be compromised. You've got your client and resident and patient health outcomes. Now, this is the main objective of the healthcare industry, and that should never be compromised. You've got scheduling, where with robots specifically, if you've got 4 different types of robots running around, you don't want them colliding into each other, or you don't want a robot pulling a food trolley along and a cleaning robot coming the other direction at the same time. And now both of them are doing a little dance, but they can't get past each other. And so then neither task gets done. And then you need staff to intervene. So this is scheduling comes in. Then if I go into this next one, matching clinical definitions with the technology definitions, this relates to the incident management, where what is a fall, as per what a clinician says, might be very different to what a technology provider has said their system detects as a fall. Now, the technology should always cater to what the clinicians and carers and staff need. Therefore, it's important for a system integrator to be able to say, let me take this technical definition, and then let me put in a few little other bits of information that integrate into it, so that when a staff member gets an alert saying a fall has happened, it is clearly defined that this definition of fall is what the carers have defined as fall. Then we've got scheduling technology to support workflows. Now, this could be remote support, or this could be on-site technical support. Reporting and analysis, that's very important, because whatever you're using, you want to make sure it's being used effectively. The improvement in operational efficiency can be measured. And also you want the system to be able to give you little points over time that allow the facility or the staff to be able to iteratively improve their workflows, or for the technology providers to iteratively improve the technology within the lifetime of the next product, for example. Then you've got comprehensive maintenance. Now, a system integrator will always be able to implement the solution, install it, integrate it, of course, and then provide comprehensive maintenance for the whole life of the equipment. So, for example, robots could last about maybe 6 to 8 years, and you want comprehensive maintenance throughout the life of that robot to make sure it's running up to the same standards as it did on day one, as it would on day 360 of year 4. And finally, of course, the point that I'm blocking here, I'll just move to the side, is privacy of monitoring. Now, privacy of monitoring is very important, because there are all sorts of privacy concerns with these new technologies. There's always going to be data and footage and bits of information traveling around. And it's important to be able to know where that's going, who has access to it, how long is it stored for, all those bits of information. Now, if we look at all of these 9 considerations, of course, there can be more, and they can be broken down a lot more into subcategories if needed. But a system integrator would come in here and be able to address all of these, work with a facility and its staff from day one of saying, let's have a look at your current workflow. Let's do a workflow study. Let's give you a recommended solution, work with you to tweak that solution. Then we'll implement that solution, and that involves integrating with the different new systems you're implementing, as well as your existing systems that you've already implemented. Get that integrated. Now that it's been implemented, train the staff, hold your hand through the whole process, provide maintenance of the product for its life, and as it's nearing its end, continue to engage with the facility and the staff to see, are there new problems that have come up where new technologies can solve, or can we continue to use this solution for further 2 or 3 years, as far as possible. And a system integrator is best placed to do this because they are brand agnostic. They are not the manufacturers of the product. So they are not tied down to one product or another, and can work with you to find the best fit solution for your problem that is integrated to your existing systems, and that your staff and your end clients, residents, will benefit the most from. And I hope that was a bit of helpful information. If you've got any more questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or any one of my colleagues at Omni-Health. We'd be happy to answer any more questions. And do let me know if there are any other little bits of information that we could put out another little video on that could be helpful for you. Thank you.